So what made you guys? I guess John, because the deck was John's creation, right?
hmm
So what made you guys land on Sinister Six?
Well, when they revealed Sinister Six, I was like, these guys are sweet. And when I thought I was going to Midwinter, I was on Team Attack's podcast, and I was like, I don't care what's going on. I'm playing these guys no matter what. And then I saw there where I started playtesting when we were like testing decks for this, and it was just beating everything else that we could build. Um, it was because it was just so fast. They hit so hard. Like you have out of the six, I would say four of them are amazing, and one of them's okay, and one of them's bad. So, like Sandman, Mysterio, Craven, and Electro are like ridiculously good, and like Doc Ock is okay. He's pretty good, and Vulture's bad. Like he's good like 1 in 100 games, but like when Vulture's good, he's like amazing. So, and then like so when we first built the deck, it started off just like a regular like average deck that you see that like goes to 7 and had a lot less plot twists in it, a lot more characters. And as we were playing more and more, I was like, man, we're just not getting to turn 6. We're not getting to turn 7. I don't need this. And so we just started chopping off the higher drops until we had 2 5 drops left and a bunch of babies. So we just like made this like hyper aggressive. We're trying to put a wound on you every turn deck, and it worked out.
So I guess we could take a look at the deck real quick, and then because spoiler alert, you ended up winning the whole event.
Yeah.
Here, let me pull it up. So let's talk about the deck and some of your choices. So let me just run through the list real quick. So we have 4 Chameleon, 4 Solo, 3 Black Cat, 4 Iron Fist, 3 Copycat, 1 Taskmaster, 3 Flint, 3 Massacre, 2 Punisher, and that's all the characters. I didn't count, so I don't know how many that is. We have 4 Shocks, 4 Pain and Suffering, 4 Mercs for Money, 1 Break the Fourth Wall, 1 Sinister Six, 1 Savage Surprise, and then I can't tell if that's 3 or 4 Sanctum.
3 Sanctums.
3 Sanctum, 4 Oscorp, and then 4 green, 4 red, and 3 blue, and then obviously all the Sinister Six guys. So you said when in your playtesting you just weren't going past 6, so you just cut off all the high drops, and this is a hyper aggressive version of Sinister Six then.
Yeah, and like it turned out that like when I was testing, like my best 6 drop were my 3 drop and my 2 drop together. So
Right.
it was like, okay, well this is just better than any 6 drop that I'm able to play in this format. Like if you play Copycat and follow it up with a Black Cat, they can because of Black Cat's ability, Copycat becomes a Fem, so they can team attack with stealth. And if they both get the climb, they get the what is that? I think it's like a team attack for 9. I
Oh,
think
wow.
if I remember right,
Right.
because they like climbs to a 4. No, it's a team attack for 8. Because what is Black Cat normally, a 3/2?
A 3/2, and Copycat's a 4/4, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
That's right. And so Copycat climbs into a 5/5, and Black Cat climbs into a 3. So yeah, they team attack for 9. And then you get like Mercs for Money and stuff like that too in there. So
Wow, yeah. So, what are does this have like a would you say a good matchup against all the quote unquote meta decks in the Big Apple, like what Luke Cage, Mono Underworld, and what's the other big one? Maybe Valkyrie.
yeah, it's all comes down to like learning like how to play against each deck. But like once you figure out, it's not like super hard either. It's just like once you figure out, okay, it's pretty easy. Uh, like against like Luke Cage and Mono Venom, you just start out with Doc Ock, because if you can open with a Solo or a Chameleon, you're like really far ahead because Doc Ock can make free attacks on them. Or he can just like, if Chameleon's in your back row, they can't get to Chameleon, so you get to draw a bunch of extra cards.
Mm-hmm.
Against Doctor Strange, I lost the first round actually against Kirk playing Doctor Strange, and I realized, oh man, I should probably just, since that deck's not aggressive, I should have just started out with Electro. And so like when I got to the top 8, I had to play 2 Doctor Stranges in a row, and I just like I was lucky enough to win the die roll, and I just started out with with Electro, and like I would make him use his plot twist, but if I couldn't just stun him naturally, I just have that blue to stun him to
Right.
keep him off XP. So the only people that leveled against me all day actually were uh, Doctor Strange the first round when I lost, and then I don't think Venom leveled against me either. I think he was just short of leveling. Actually, Venom might have leveled against me too, but no one else leveled against me all day. Because if I won, it was in turns equal to how many wounds was on your MC.
All right, so let's go through John's rounds then, since he is the winner of the whole event. So what were your Swiss rounds like? I know you talked about it a little bit. So you lost to Doctor Strange round 1 before you figured out the key there.
Yeah, because I hadn't actually tested that matchup at all. I just kind of went into that one blind because none one in my group really felt like building him, so we just didn't.
Yeah.
Um.
Oh, jeez.
Then round 2, I played against Mono Venom, and as soon as I saw like the mono plot twist, like it just kind of changes how your entire matchup goes because you know they don't have any flyers in it, so you can protect things and like formate pretty good. So
Yeah, or
I
you
just
could
opened up.
you could just play towards Flint and know they have no out to it.
Yeah, that too. And like Flint actually like amazingly did not really come in. Like he didn't really play a factor at all in I don't think any of my games, but I mean I think I used him once all day, but it wasn't like game deciding or anything like that. So like I just opened up against Venom. Sorry, I opened up against Venom with Doc Ock, and then had like a solo, and I just started making attacks, and it just got too big, and just that was what it was. It wasn't like a really like there was nothing like special about the matchup. I just got to make 2 free attacks every turn, and just 6 turns later, that was over. So then I fought against a Deadpool, and then luckily I didn't test against Deadpool because we knew like the mono decks would be like not a big deal because they lose their big mono plot twist, right? They can't like cheat wounds on the Sinister Six. So we didn't really test it a lot. We just kind of tested against Venom a couple times. We're like, all right, well, this is how all the mono decks are going to go. But this Deadpool wasn't mono. It was, and I was like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. But I had played a lot of Deadpool for like when the Deadpool and Friends set first came out. I was trying to build it for Gen Con, see if I could make something work. So I understood like how to play around his level up condition. So I was able to keep him on level 1 for 6 turns. And I actually had a really good. My 1-0 Savage Surprise came in handy that game, and I was able to stun him on his turn. So I was able to drop a copycat on turn 3 or 4. I think I dropped her a turn late because I was just like avoiding playing her so that he couldn't level. And then like when I used my Savage to get him to stun himself, I was like, all right, cool. Now I can just drop this, and I have a super strong copycat later. So that was that, and then my last round of Sword was playing Nighthawk, and I was like super worried. I'm like, well, if he levels up, I pretty much just lose, and I just got lucky that he couldn't find that third yellow like we talked about before.
I could see it on your face when we were playing. You just had this look of like, I'm gonna lose this match. Especially after the first 2 rounds, it was like boom, boom. And
Yeah.
like, I just like you were face palming and going like, I'm not gonna win, and it was like I couldn't find it.
Yeah,
so,
I was like, I was already like, I was like, being able to get those first couple of wounds on you. I was like, all right. So when he inevitably levels on, because I assumed you were going to level on either 3 or 4. I was like, when he levels, I'll have to like figure out a way to keep his board clear and just put 2 more wounds on him. I was like trying to figure out my plan, but luckily I didn't have to. I was like saving a lot of stuff in my hands, like my Iron Fists and my copycats, just because I was like, I need a plan for when he inevitably gets there. So that was all Swiss. Then top 8, I played against Drew. He was playing a non-mono Sinister Six. So top 8 was actually like 1 mono Sinister Six, which was Kirk, that I played round 1. 2 non-mono Sinister Six, which I played We had a Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange.
Yeah, Doctor
One
Strange,
mono
right?
Doctor Strange. Two non-mono Doctor Strange. I was playing the non-mono Sinister Six. There was a mono Sinister Six. There was a Nova, a Luke Cage who was mono, and then Ralph's Valkyrie deck. So I played against the Doctor Strange deck, and it was the non-mono version. And we had to like in top 8, you get access to your opponent's deck list. So when I saw that they didn't have hidden weapons in their deck, which like when we were like making up decks, we're like, oh, any defender's deck should play hidden weapons because solo is going to be so big in the format. You can like really throw a person's whole turn off because they're going to make that safe attack with solo first just to get the free counter, and then like you can hidden weapons. And so once I saw they didn't have some hidden weapons, I was like, okay, cool. The Electro plan will work, and I was able to just protect Electro and get them really big with my solo. So yeah, I got really pretty decent draws. I opened up with like 2 blues, I think. Oh no, that was against Smallwood in the next round. The next round I played against the exact same. I think it was the exact same 60 Doctor Strange list. It was 2 Jersey guys back to back. It was Drew and then it was Robert Smallwood. And so I just ran back the same plan. Opened up with Electro, try to make him use his plot twist, and then once I got through all of his plot twists, I just used the blues to finish off the turns. And then I played against Nova, and I was actually like super interested in the deck. He had like a lot of like gargoyle shenanigans in his deck. I saw that when he was playing against Kirk in the semifinals. But like I have a decent amount of range in our deck. Like we have Massacre and Punisher. Copycat gets range. So like you have good attacks against him, and there's actually like some really fun things you can do. Like I was planning on if his gargoyle got too strong and we get into a race situation, you could actually just put Sandman out and attack your Sandman into the gargoyle, who will die. But since you have durable and Sandman, you don't take a wound, and you just keep them down. And then that's a turn that they can't wound your MC.
That's such a good trick.
Which is actually one of the reasons we played Pain and Suffering in our list, is because if we got into a race scenario, you can attack with Sandman and then like Pain and Suffering your own Sandman to put them face down.
Oh, nice. That's clever.
Yeah.
Tricky.
Well, that's awesome, man. It's cool that Nova made it to the finals too. But
Yeah, it was a really cool list. I really liked his list.
So you played against Doctor Strange 3 times then?
Yes, there was a lot of Doctor Strange there, and all the Doctor Strange decks were doing really well. So it's probably one of the better decks in the format.
Well, congrats on the win, man. That's awesome. It's been a good year for the Build Better crew then.
Yeah, we've been doing pretty all right for ourselves. I mean, when we had Bert win Midwinter last year, you got second at Origins. We had a couple people who were just 1 win short at Gen Con for top 8 this year. I think Nick and Cody both. Yeah, we've been doing pretty good for ourselves. So.
Well, congrats, man.
Thanks, really.